Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a bit different than my usual videos, and I'm going to be testing some of my shampoos and try to figure out their pH level. So a little bit about what that is in case you haven't heard of it. The pH level is basically the level of acidity or alkalinity that a certain thing has. Our scalp has its natural pH level, which is 5.5, I believe. It goes from a range to 0 to 14. So under 7 is acidic and over 7 is alkalinic, if I'm not wrong. And so a shampoo should have a level close to your regular or your natural scalp level, which is 5.5. Anywhere in between 4.5 and 5.5 works. But once it's higher than 6 or 7, that's when it just doesn't, it's not as good anymore. And the same if it's lower. So if a shampoo's pH level is way too high, that's going to cause your hair to just be super dry and frizzy, and well, it's going to be terrible, right? And if the pH level is too low, then very possibly you'll experience scalp itchiness, or even just also dry hair and some split ends possibly. So a shampoo can make a big difference. I know in one of my posts on Instagram, I specified that, well, a shampoo cannot help with hair growth, or it can't really promote hair growth as a lot of shampoos say, or it can't help with hair loss. So many people just see shampoo as the solution to everything, the solution to hair fall, the solution to having hair growth, the solution to, everything, when the main focus of a shampoo is to clean your scalp. But that doesn't mean that the shampoo can't be causing your hair loss. If the pH is off or whatever it is, a shampoo might not help with your hair loss, but if it's causing it, yes, it will. And just so many things go into having a good shampoo, and a good shampoo is the base of your routine. Like, if you're doing a great hair care routine, but your shampoo is not meant for your scalp and hair type, then you're just not gonna have the hair you want, to be honest. So instead of making it too long, let's just get to it. I'm gonna explain kind of what I did, and this method may not be 100% accurate. Like, obviously, if you test this in a lab, it would obviously be a lot more accurate. But basically what I did is I took 5 milligrams of shampoo and added 50 milligrams of water. Like, I weighed everything down, put it into clean glasses, then covered them for 30 minutes. And now I'm gonna put in the pH strips to test them, and I'll show you the results right here. So I have never done this before. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out, but I'm excited to see what it'll be. I'm gonna be testing 9 shampoos in total. I do have some more, but these are some of the ones that I've either used a lot or that are very well known. So I figured I'd try it out. All right, so these are completely new. I made sure that I wouldn't open them at all, just so that the results could be even more accurate. And after adding the water, I did also just slightly mix the mixture with a knife, but without trying to create too much lather. So we'll see how this is going to work out. This is what they look like, and then there's a whole chart at the back that you just compare it to. So for it to be, well, it would have to be in the 4 and 5 range, which is acidic. 6, 7, and 8 is neutral. But yeah, for that, it would actually have to have a very similar color to what it has now. It shouldn't change much, but we'll see. The first shampoo I'm going to start with is the Joon Saffron Rose Shampoo. And actually, all of the shampoos I'm going to test are sulfate-free. But this one does have kind of a harsh surfactant, like it's sodium C1416 olefin sulfonate, which some people are fine with it, but I've noticed that I can use shampoos with it, but if the specific shampoo has it a bit too much, or maybe like at a big concentration, my scalp is very, very irritated. So I'm still deciding on whether or not I like this shampoo. All right, let's test it. I'm gonna put the strip in until I see a change of color, or just, well, if it doesn't really change a color, right, that's great, because that's the level it should have. But all right, I'm gonna try and show you the chart like on camera. I have no idea if you're gonna be able to see it, but if you compare it, like, it's basically a 6. And it's slightly changed color, because the regular strips it looks like a 5, right? So this one's definitely a 6, which is exactly what we're looking for. I mean, 5.5 would be ideal, right? So since this doesn't really have a middle point, I kind of have to look in between, and it's like a 5.5/6. So that's a good sign. Next up is the tea tree oil from Aquableu, their shampoo, and this is still my favorite. Like, it's always been my favorite, and it still is. I have not found a shampoo I like more than this, so we'll see how this one goes. One's definitely lighter than the 6, but also not exactly a 5, so it's very probably a 5.5. It turned out lighter than the other one from the Joon, so the Joon was probably a 6 and this a 5.5, but that just makes me happy. I would have been really disappointed if the pH level would have been any different on that one, since I do really love that shampoo. But that's also probably the reason why I love it. All right, next up is the scalp conditioning shampoo from John Masters Organic, the one with Zinc and Sage. And I do have a full review on this on my last YouTube video, as well as a lot of their other products. It's almost empty, but yeah, let's try it out. All right, so the John Masters Organics one is definitely a 6. Like, the second color is kind of salmon-like instead of, or kind of orange instead of more like salmon than the 5. So this one's definitely a 6, not lower than that. But yeah, I'm gonna continue doing this with all of the shampoos, and instead of showing you every second of it, which can get boring, I'm just gonna label them, and then I'm gonna get right back to you and show you exactly what the results were. So next up we have the Love Hair shampoo. And this is also one of my favorites. It's really clarifying. It's like kind of gentle, but also just makes my hair really shiny. And it has the same pH as Joon and Aquableu, so it's like a 5.5. So far the only one that has been a bit higher is the John Masters Organics one, which is definitely a 6, so that's a bit higher than it should be. But yeah, that's really good. And then we have the purple shampoo from Beauty from Bees, I believe. Yes. So this was the one that had a very high pH. This is actually a 7 on the scale. And while that still falls into neutral, it's like, 6 is already high and 7 is a lot higher. But I kind of expected it, since, it is a purple shampoo, so it has mica powder and whatnot in it to kind of help with the blonde color. And I don't use it often. I only use it about once a month. But yeah, that's kind of the one reason why instead of a purple shampoo, I would always prefer a conditioner, because that would probably be a lot safer than using a shampoo, especially with this high of a pH. But since I don't use it often, I'm like still using it up, so there's not really a big problem with it, unless I would start to use it often, then I'd probably notice my hair being a bit more dry or frizzy than usual. And then we have the Oaui, I have no idea how you pronounce this. It's their detox shampoo. I only have a sample and I've used it 3 or 4 times. I didn't like it because I noticed my scalp being very itchy afterwards, so it's probably just a bit too harsh for me, but it does detox my scalp really well. So it has its pros and cons. And this one's also kind of high on the list. It's the same as the John Masters Organics one, so it's definitely a 6. It's not under 6. And again, since it is a detox shampoo, you wouldn't really use it more than once a month, so it should be fine. But if you're using it a lot, it could potentially maybe dry out your hair. And there's the Kerotin Scalp Flake Relief Shampoo. This is the only one of their shampoos I've tried so far. And I didn't really like it at the start. I mean, I tried it I think for a month, and I just didn't think it helped with my itchiness, but I do still want to give it another try and see maybe if I like it more. But the pH is actually also high. It's definitely a 6. And you know, just as a reminder, the shampoo should be 5.5 or even better 4.5, like in between 4.5 and 5.5, because you want it to match your scalp. So this is high, and it could lead to dryness, but you know, if you do use a conditioner or like a great conditioner, you might not notice it that much. But as a person with a sensitive scalp, I'm kind of realizing that the shampoos I'm not liking too much are because they actually have a high pH. But yeah, it's because really, honestly, even like my favorite shampoos, they all kind of have a low pH. So yeah, but let's continue. There's only 2 more left. This is the Elia&Co Argan shampoo, and I haven't tried it enough to say if I like it. I felt like maybe at the beginning it was a bit too harsh, but I didn't really try it out enough to really give it a chance. So yeah, their pH is pretty good though. That's like a 5.5 definitely. So this one's good to go. And the last one, to be honest with you, I've only tried this once so far. I think it's the Lazartigue Nourishing shampoo, and it just had a really strong scent, so that usually makes me not want to try shampoo again. And I was just really liking my routine so far, so I haven't, like, I could not tell you if I hate this or love this. But their pH is good. It's a 5.5, so that should probably mean it's a good shampoo. Although, well, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I can't really say. That's all the shampoos I tested. So I do have more, and I'll probably maybe just make an updated one in the future, doing more shampoos like this. But it was really interesting. And just do remember that this doesn't mean that this is completely accurate. You know, it's just kind of like a home test. So don't like rely on this to buy your next shampoo. But for me personally, it did kind of make sense that some of the ones with high pH were the ones that I actually don't really like. But yeah, that's interesting. And the pH is really important, honestly. Like, it would be cool if shampoos had the pH level on the label. That would really be cool, but I guess maybe someday. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this was insightful, or at the very least just interesting to watch. So yeah, if you have any ideas, as usual, just leave them in the comments if you have questions as well. And that is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.